Okay, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, this one's called Bartleby, described in our scritter, A Story of Wall Street, found in Melville from the Piazza Tale of 1856, or Piazza, I don't know, whatever. Okay, here it goes. May force be with you, that is. I'm a rather elderly man. The nature of my avocations for the last 30 years has brought me into more than ordinary contact with what I've seen and interested in somewhat singular set of men, of whom I do nothing that I know of has ever been written. I mean the law copyists and scriveners. I have known very many of them professionally, privately, and if I please, to relate diverse histories, of which in nature, gentlemen, my smiles, and souls might weep. But I weigh the biographies of all the scriveners for a few passages of the life of Bartleby, who was a scrivener of the strangest I ever saw or heard of. While of other law copyists, I might write the complete life of Bartleby, nothing of that sort can be done. I believe that no materials exist for a full and satisfactory biography of this man. It is an irreparable loss of literature. Bartleby was one of those beings of whom nothing is ascertainable, except from the original sources, and in this case those are very small, with what my astonished eyes saw for myself. My business, my chambers, and general surroundings attest the same, because some such description is indispensable to adequate understanding of the true character of to be presented. In fairness, I am a man who, from the youth upwards, has been filled with a profound conviction that the easiest way of life is the best, influence, and so I belong to a profession proverbially energetic and nervous, even to determine such times, see nothing of that sort have I decided to make my peace. I am one of those unambitious lawyers who never address the jury, or in any way enforce the uncovered laws, but in the cool faculty of the snug retreat, I do myself business among rich people, bonds, and mortgages, and vices to make. All who know me consider me an eminently safe man, but like John Jacob, a personage talking enthusiastic enthusiasm, has no hesitation in pronouncing my first grand point to be prudence. My next method, I do not seek it, is in vanity, but simply look for facts that I was not employed in my profession by the late John Jacob Astor, and then John made a repeat for it have founded, and Obrica, something having likely increased the bill office, and since the state chancery, and brings like 2 billion. I would freely advertise not to New York, or of a master in chancery, and being conferred on me, it is not insensible to like John Jacob Astor's good opinion. Very obvious office, very pleasantly remunerative. I seldom lost lose my temper, much more seldom indulge in dangerous indignation of wrongs and outrages, but I'm not even permitted to be rash here and declare that I consider sudden violence abrogation of the office of master in chancery, by the new constitution. Bartleby, the scrivener. As a premature act in so much, or inasmuch as I have counted upon my release of the rights, whereas I will receive those in a few short years. But this is, by the way, my chambers were upstairs in number Wall Street, number Wall Street. At one end, they looked on the white wall of the interior of a spacious skylight jar, penetrating the building from top to bottom. This view might be considered rather tame, but otherwise the vision to the landscape painted full light. But if so, the view from the other end of my chambers looks at least nothing more. In a direction my most commanded and unobstructed view of the beautiful, black by age and lost in shade, which will require no eyeglass to bring out its lurking beauties, but for the benefit of all nearsighted spectators, which push up within 10 feet of my window panes. I would recognize the surrounding buildings, and my chambers being at the end of the between the wall and mine, not little resemble a huge square system. At the period just preceding the advent of Bartleby, I had 2 persons as copyists in my appointment and honest in first to Key, second Nicholas first, Ginger. These may seem names, like which are not usually found in the directory, in truth, names mutually conferred on each other on my 3 books, and were expressive of their respective persons or characters. Key, which was Percy, which was about my age, that is, somewhere not far from 60. In the morning, one might say face was of a fine flawless hue, but after 12 o'clock, meridian is the hour of the blaze, like a graceful Christmas coals, and continued blazing, but as it were, with a gradual wane until 6 o'clock p.m., or the pictures of the moral of the bride over the face, which gained its meridian, the sun seemed to sex with it, to remain culminate in the sun of the following day, with like regularity and undiminished glory. There are many singular coincidences I have known in the course of my life, not the least of them, which was the fact that exactly when Turkey was laid to its beams from his very radiant countenance, just then too, at this critical moment, began the day period, and I considered his business as the seriously deserved for running up and browse, not that he was absolutely idle or adverse. The business then, far from its difficulty, was he was apt to be altogether energetic. It was a strange and plain flowy, flighty reticence, I could see about him. He would be incautious in dipping his pen into his inkstand, or his blots upon my documents, which blots there after 12 o'clock. Very indeed, not only would he be averse and begin making blots in the afternoon, but sometimes even further, and was rather noisy. At such times too, his face flamed and augmented blazonry, as if canal coal had been heaped on anthracite. He made an unpleasant bracket with his chair, filled his sandbox, yes, and his pens. Impatiently split them all to pieces, and threw them on the floor. And some passion, so I believe his table box in his paper about the most indecorous manner. Very certain behold, an elderly man like him, nevertheless, he was in many ways a most valuable person to me, and he was known for 12 o'clock meridian with a quick, serious creature too, and which a great deal of work and so not easy to be matched. For these reasons, I really overlooked his eccentricities, though occasionally I remonstrated with him. I did this irregularly, however, because though the civilest, nay, blandest and most reverential of men in the morning, in the afternoon he was disposed, until, upon provocation, to be slightly rash with his tongue, in fact insolent. Now valuing his morning services as I did, and resolved not to lose them, yet at the same time made uncomfortable by his inflamed way after 12 o'clock, and being a man of peace, and by my admonitions to call forth unseen reports from him, I took upon me one Saturday afternoon, or he was always worse on Saturdays, said to him very kindly, that perhaps now that he was grown old, it might be well to abridge his labours. In short, he need not come to my chambers after 12 o'clock, but dinner over, I best go to his lodgings, and sit off till tea time. But no, oh no. No. He insisted upon his afternoon devotions. His countenance became horribly feathered, as he oracularly assured me, speculating a longer at the end, or rather in the room that if his services in the morning were useful, how indispensable then in the afternoon. Oh, with submission, sir, said Turkey on this occasion. I consider myself your right hand man. In the morning I was marshal employed my columns, but in the afternoon I got myself at their head and gallantly charged a foot without, and he made a violent thrust for the ruler. What a blot, Turkey. Intimated I. True, but you would submission, sir, behold these heads, I'm getting old. Surely, sir, but I'll do a warm afternoon, not to be today, against grey hairs, old age, even if it is, or if it block the pages on all the submission, sir, we both getting old. The appeal to my fellow feeling was hardly resisted, at all events I saw, though he would not. So I made up my mind to stay resolved nevertheless to see to it that during the afternoon he had to do my less important papers. Nippers, the second on my list, was a whiskered, sallow, and upon the whole rather practical looking young man of about 5 and 20. I always deemed him the victim of two evil powers, ambition and indigestion. The ambition was evinced by a certain impatience of the duty of the copious and unwarrantable usurpation of strictly professional affairs, such as the original drawing up of the documents. The indigestion seemed betokened in an occasional nervous testiness and grinning irritability, cognitive to audibly growing together. Open mistakes committed not unnecessary maledictions or maledictions, hissed rather than spoken, in the heat of business, and especially by a continual discontent with the height of the table where he worked, though of a very ingenious mechanical term. The Nippers could never get this table to suit him. He put chips under it, lots of various sorts of principle, and reasons for bars, sentences, with the rest by final pieces of folded blotting paper. But no eventual answer. If for the sake of ease in his back, he brought the table at a sharp angle, well up towards his chin, and wrote there like a man using a sea grip of the Dutch house for his desk. Then he declares that it stopped the separation of his arms. It now lowers the table to his waistbands, and stooped over it in writing. I'm sorry, yeah. Then there was a sore ache in his back, in short. The brief of the matter was Nippers knew not what he wanted, or if he wanted anything, it was to be rid of Scrivener's table altogether. Scrivener's table altogether. Among the manifestations of his disease ambition was fondness he had for receiving visits from certain ambiguous fellows, in sea clothes, whom he had called his clients, indeed, I was aware. Not only was he at times considerable of a war politician, but he occasionally did a little business at the justice's court, and was not unknown on the steps of the tombs. I have good reason to believe, however, that one individual who called upon him in my chambers, and who, whether insisted, was his client, was no other than a Dunn, and the alleged title deed of the bill. Like a good fame in the United States equals me, Nippers, like his compatriot Turkey, was a very useful man to me, wrote me swift hand, and when he chose, was not deficient. A gentlemanly sort of deportment. Added to it, he always dressed in a gentlemanly sort of way, and so incidentally reflected on my chambers. But I give respect to Turkey, whom I had much ado to keep from him, to keep him from being so he would have approached to me, his clothes were apt to look oily and smelly in houses. He wore his pantaloons very loose and baggy in summer, However, his votes were executable. No, execrable. Or, yeah, it's a executable. His hat, not the angle. While the hat will seem like a difference to me, inasmuch as his natural stability and deference, as the defensive Englishman always lets him off, it's the moment he enters the room. Yet his coat was another matter we follow. Concerning his coat, I reason with him, but no effect. Which was a man of those small income can afford to store such a lustrous face, and a lustrous coat at one and the same time. As it was once observed, Turkey's money went chiefly for a ink. One winter day, I was in Turkey with a highly respectable looking of my own. I had a grey coat for the most comfortable warmth, and it buttoned straight up from the knee to the neck. I thought Turkey would appreciate favour, and abate his freshness and obstresserousness. Obstreperousness. Yeah. But no, I verily believe that buttoning himself up in a slow, downy, and blanket like a coat had a tenacious effect upon him. But on the same principle, too much coats about horses. Oh, tenacious. Yeah, the opposite effect, I guess. Yeah, so you probably got a liking for it. In fact, precisely as a rash rested forces to feel his oats. So Turkey felt his coat. It made him insolent. He was a man whom prosperity harmed. No concerning the self-indulgent habits of Turkey, I had my own private surmises. Yet touching Nicholas, I was well persuaded that whatever might be his faults in other respects, he was at least a temporary man, but indeed nature herself seems to have been his vintner, or vintner, and as his birth charged him so thoroughly with an irritable and light disposition that all subjects of consequence fortune were needless. When I consider how, amid the stillness of my chambers, Nicholas would sometimes evasively rise from his seat and stoop over the table, spread his arms wide apart. Caesar old desk and moving with a grim motion on the floor, as if the table were reversed, following the agents and thwarting and vexing him, I vainly perceived that Nicholas ran more altogether superfluous. It was fortunate for me that owing to his peculiar faults in digestion, the irritability and consequent nervousness of Nicholas were mainly observable in the morning, while in the afternoon he was comparatively mild, so that Turkey's paroxysms only come on about 12 o'clock. I had to do with their eccentricities at one time. Their fits relieve each other like belts. Yes. Paroxysms, yeah. When Nicholas was on, set people off, and vice versa. This was a good natural arrangement under the circumstances. Now, Julius, the fellow was a lad, some 12 years old. His father was a carman, ambitious of seeing his son on the bench instead of the house, before he died. So he sent him to my office as a student at law, errands boy, and clearing people at the rate of $1 a week. He had a little less for himself, but he did not use it much. Under inspection, the drawer exhibited a large and great array of the shells of various sorts of notes. Indeed, the discourse of youth, the whole noble science of the law, is contained in a nutshell. Not the least among the employments of the notes, as well as one which he discharged with the most alacrity. Alacrity, yeah. What's his duty as a careful prepare for Turkey and Nicholas? Copying law papers, being proverbially dry, husky piece of business. Proverbially dry, husky piece of business. I too, Scrivenus, or Scrivenus, were fain to moisten their mouths very often with Strix and Bergs, that he had numerous stalls nigh, custom house and vegetables, but near the world behind them, near I presume, and saying they were probably eager. Also, they sent ginger nuts very frequently for that particular cake, small, flat, round, and very spicy, after which he had been named by them. On a cold morning, when business was quite dull, Turkey would gobble up scores of these cakes, as if they were new wafers. Indeed, they sold enough wafers 6 cents for a penny. The sweat of his hands blended with the crunching of crisp particles in his mouth. Although the fiery afternoon blunders and flurry flash, and the scissors of Turkey was at once moistened in an inch between lips and tapping it onto a mortgage for a seal. I came within an ace of dismissing him then, but he mollified me by making an oriental bow saying, "Well, submission, sir, it was generous of me to find you in stationery on my own account." Now, my original business, that's what conveyancer and title hunter and drawer up of reconciled documents of all sorts considerably increased by seeing master's office. There was now great work for scriveners or scriveners. Now, not only must I wish clerks already with me, but I must additional help and after my advertisements, the motion this young man one morning stood up upon my office threshold, the door being open for the summer, I can see that figure now, out of the knees, particularly acceptable, incurably forlorn, it was Bartleby. After a few words, touching the qualifications I engaged in, glad to have among my corps of copyists, and also singularly sedate aspect, which I thought might operate beneficially upon the flighty temper of Turkey, and the value of Nicholas, I sure stated. Before the ground glass folding doors divided my premises into two parts, one of which was occupied by my scriveners, the other by myself. According to my humour, I proactively saw close to them. I resolved to sign Bartleby a corner by folding doors, but on my side of them, so as to have this quiet man within 80 court. In case any trifling thing was to be done, I placed his desk close up to a small side window in that part of the room, a window which originally had forward lateral view of certain grimy backyards and bricks, but which owing to subsequent directions commanded at present no view at all. At all. Though it gave to mind within 3 feet of the pane or the wall, and the light came down from far above, putting the opposite far from a very small opening in his own. The further satisfactory arrangement, I procured a high green folding screen, which might entirely isolate Bartleby from myself, though not remove him from my book, and as a man of writing society, well conjoined. At first, Bartleby did an extraordinary quantity of writing, as if long fashioned for something copy. He seemed to gorge himself on my documents. There was no pause for digestion when he ran a day and night one, copying by sunlight and by candlelight. I should have been quite delighted with the application, had he been cheerfully industrious, but he wrote on silently, palely, mechanically. It is, of course, an insensible part of a scrivener's business to verify the accuracy of his copy, whereby where there are 2 or more scriveners in office, they assist each other in examination, one reading from the copy, the other holding the original. It is a very dull, wearisome, and lethargic affair. I can readily imagine that to some sanguine temperament, it would be altogether intolerable. For example, I cannot credit that the mettlesome poet Byron would have contentedly, sat down with Bartleby to examine a law document of say 500 pages, closely written in a friendly hand. Now and then, in basic business, it has been my habit to assist in the various and myself. When I'm here on his first purpose, after having placed Bartleby so handy behind the screen, or to prevent myself from his services on such tribulations, it is one further, I think, what is dealing with me, and before any necessity had arisen for having his own writing down, that being much hurried to complete a small affair, and I rapidly called Bartleby in my haste and natural expectancy of his advice. I sat with my head bent over the original on my desk, and my right hand sideways and somewhat nervously extended to the copy, but immediately upon emerging from the retreat, Bartleby might snatch it and take the business without the least delay. In this very attitude, did I sit to my full within rapidly stating what it was I wanted him to do, namely to examine a small paper with me. Imagine my surprise, nay my consternation, when without moving from his privacy, Bartleby, and singly mind firm voice advice, I would prefer not to. I stepped away in perfect silence, dragging my son's faculties. Immediately, it occurred to me that my ears had deceived me, surely, or Bartleby had entirely misunderstood my meaning. I repeated my request in the clearest tone I could assume, or must have, but in quite as clear, one came the previous reply. I would prefer not to. Prefer not to, echoed I, rising in high excitement, and crossing the room with a stride. What the dickens do you mean? Are you drunk? I want you to help me compare the sheet here. There, and I thrust it towards him. I would prefer not to, though, said he. I looked at him steadfastly. His face was leanly composed, his grey eye dimly calm, not a wrinkle of agitation rippled him. Had there been the least uneasiness, anger, impatience, or impertinence in his manner, in other words, had there been anything ordinarily human about him, doubtless I should have finally dismissed him from the premises. As it was, I should have assumed fortune telling my tale after a Paris off. Is it Cicero? Cicero? I don't know his Cicero. Outdoors, I stood gazing at him a while, Cicero, as he went on with his own writing, and then seated myself at my desk. It's a very strange thought. What had one best do? But my business hurried me, I concluded to get another present preserving for my future leisure. The calling from the other room, the table speedily examined. As he laid off this, Bartleby concluded for lengthy documents, being quite 2 products of a week's testimony taken before me and my high court chancery. The necessary to examine them was an important suit, and great accuracy was imperative. Having all things arranged, I called Turkey in Nicholas and New York from the next room, meaning to place all copies in the hands of my full clerk, while I should read from the original. According to Turkey, Nicholas and New York, had taken the seats in a row, Right, so, accordingly, Turkey made his engine sequence. Each with his document in hand, and I forward to Bartleby. Bartleby, he joined this interesting group. Bartleby, quick, I'm waiting. I heard a slow sway of his chair legs on the uncarpeted floor, and soon he appeared at the entrance of his hermitage. What is wanted? Said he mildly. The copies of said I hurriedly. You don't examine them. There, and I held towards him the fourth or creeper. I would prefer not to, he said, and then he disappeared behind the screen for a few moments. I was standing with a pair of swords, standing at the head of my seated column of flirts, recovering myself, I advanced towards the screen, and demanded the reason for such extraordinary conduct. Why do you refuse? I would prefer not to. With anger of man, she had flown outright into a dreadful passion, saw on board further words, and thrust him ignominiously. What did he? Ignominiously? Ignominiously? From my presence. But there was something about Bartleby, and something strangely beyond me, but on from manufacture disconcerted me. I began to reason with him. These are your own copies, you're allowed to examine. It is legislated to you, it is my nation, and answer for your four papers. It is common usage. Every copyist is bound to have the examining copy. It is not so. We are answered. Prefer not to. You replied in a free tone. It seemed to me that while I had the interest in carefully every statement that I made fully comprehend the meaning, did not gainsay the irresistible conclusion, but at the same time, some paramount consideration prevailed within to reply to this. You understand again? Not about my request. Make according to common usage in common sense. You briefly gauge. Need to understand one that way might not sound. Yes, his decision was irreversible. It is not seldom the case that when a man is browbeaten in some unprecedented, violently unreasonable way, he begins to settle in his own plainest faith. He begins as it were vaguely to surmise that, wonderful as it may be, all the justice and all the reason is on the other side. Accordingly, if any is interested in the present, he turns to them for some reinforcement for his own thoughts mind. Turkey, sir, what do you think of this? Am I right? With submission, sir, said Turkey with the blandest tone. I think that you are. Yes, sir, what do you think of it? All should keep him out of the office. The reader of Anti-Sections will appear to see that, it being morning, Turkey's answers couched in blunt and tranquil terms, and Nicholas' replies in ill-tempered ones. Also, repeat the sentence Nicholas, the end of his ugly mood was on duty and Turkey's off. You know, said I, was this the smallest suffrage in my behalf. What do you think of it? I think, sir, he's a little money, replied Ginger with a grin. USA, said I, turning towards the screen. Come forth, easy. But you vouchsafe. No reply. You vouchsafe. I pondered a moment in sore perplexity, but once more business I returned again to some consideration of the balance of my future treasure. We were in trouble we made out to examine the papers without Bartleby. Though at every page or two, Turkey differentially dropped his opinion that this proceeding was quite out of the common. One of those twitching his chair with a dyspeptic nervousness ground out between his set teeth, occasionally hissing malediction against a certain oath behind the screen, and for his middle part. This was the first and the last time he did a business without pay. Meanwhile, Bartleby sat in his advantage, oblivious to everything, but he only deal with it. Sundays passed, and through being employed for another lengthy work, his late remarkable conduct led him to his way early. I observed that he never wanted him. Indeed, that he never went anywhere. As yet, I had never, on my personal knowledge, known him to be outside my office. He was a perpetual sentry in the corner. At about 11 o'clock in the morning, I noticed that he advanced towards the opening of the screen. I was finally beckoning for reference. It was a bit of by gesture and visible to me, the boy within the office younger in the future. The appear of the handful of Ginger, which he delivered in the hermitage, proceeding to the very trouble. He lives on my Ginger, though I never eat a dinner, properly speaking, he must be vegetarian, but no, he never eats even vegetables. He eats nothing but ginger. My mind then ran on in reveries, concerning the probable effect upon the human constitution of living inside ginger. Ginger nuts are so called, but they contain ginger, as one of peculiar constitutions, or constitutions, and final flavouring ones. Now, what wants ginger? A hot spicy thing, or possibly hot spicy in the sauce. Ginger can no effect on probably that you have none. Nothing so evident. An earnest person and a passive listener. If the individual so resistant be of an up to inhumane temper, and is resisting one perfectly harmless in his passivity, then in the better mood, self-performer, he will endeavour charitably to construe the door. To the imagination, what proven possible to be solved by government. Even some from my time, I rather Bartleby in his own, full circle time, in the street, his finding the exit, he must take petition against his eccentricities I very, he is me along with him. I turn away, jumping down, he will fall, and some message and then he will usually treat him back to the fourth mutual exile. Yes, he only duty purchased, it was self-approval. My friend Bartleby, he made his strange willfulness, or possibly this life, while I lay up in my soul, will eventually prove the sweet morsel of my conscience. While this news is not invariable with me. Happiness of Bartleby sometimes irritates me. I feel strangely loathing having a new position to visit, I start to be answerable for my own. But indeed, I might as well have essayed to try to find my uncle against this one but one afternoon, the evil impulse in me mastered me, and the following little scene ensued. Bartleby, said I. I don't take the role properly, I don't you. I would prefer not to. Surely you want me to persist in that mulching vulgarity? Or vulgarity? No answer. I drew up the folding doors nearby and turned from Turkey and explained in a excited manner. He said the second time he went to tell me, speak, what do you think of Turkey? It was afternoon. Do you remember? Turkey sat alone at the glass boy. We both had seen in his hand chewing among the doctor's papers. Think of it, roared Turkey. I think I'll just step behind his screen and look his eyes down. So saying, Turkey was 53 rounds with the stick. Decision he was hurrying away to make it honest. When I was defending him around with the effect of being pushed around in Turkey's combat defense after him. Sit down, Turkey, said I. He wanted to say, what do you think of this? Well, I guess I tried to read this. Excuse me. As he decides I think he's not quite unusual. I didn't have to go and study myself, but it may only be passing wind. Ah, exclaimed I, you have strangely changed your mind then. You speak very gently now. Oh, yeah, replied Turkey. Simply, the effects of beer. Nicholas and I going together today. See how you answer? Shall I go back and relax his eyes? You refer to Bartleby, I suppose? No, not today, Turkey, I replied. Pray, put up your fists. I closed the door and again advanced towards Bartleby. I felt additional resentment sentiment to my face. I burned to be rebelled against again. I remembered that Bartleby never left the office. Bartleby, said I, you know the way. You step round to the door, you? He paused like 3 minute walk, and see if there's anything for me. I would prefer not to. You will not? I prefer not. I staggered on my desk, and sat there in a deep study. My blind inveteracy, returned. Was there any other thing in which I could cure myself to be? Ignominiously, repulsed by his lean venomous with white. My eyes closed. What I did seemed so perfectly reasonable that he would be sure to refuse to do. Bartleby! No answer. Bartleby! In a loud tone. No answer. Bartleby! I roared. I had a very egoistic ability to lose mental indication. I preferred summons he appeared at the entrance of his heritage. Go to the next room and come to me. Prefer not to. Irrespectfully, and so he said, and Bartleby disappeared, and Bartleby disappeared. Said I, in a quiet sort of serenely severely self-possessed tone, intimating the unalterable purpose of some terrible retribution very close at hand. At the moment, I hardly sensed something of the kind, but upon the whole, as it was pouring towards my dinner hour, I thought I should put my hat in more comfortably, suffering much from perplexity and distress of mind. Shall I acknowledge the conclusion of this whole business was, but it soon became a fixed fact of my chamber that the pale young scrivener, by the name of Bartleby, had a desk there that he copied from the unusual way for 4 cents folio, 100 words, but he was permanently exempt from examining work done by him. That duty being transferred to Turkey Nicholas, one compliments doubtless to their superior acuteness. Moreover, said Bartleby was never on the account to be dispatched on the most trivial errands of any sort, and that even if entreated, is upon him such a matter, it was generally understood that he would prefer not to. In other words, that he would refuse point blank. As days passed on, I became considerably reconciled to Bartleby. His steadiness, his freedom from all dissipation, his incessant industry, except when he chose to throw himself into reverie, while his screen, his great stillness, his unalterableness of demeanour, under all circumstances, made